For all of human history, power has belonged to the few. From the Roman patricians to medieval kings, from corporate boardrooms to Silicon Valley's tech elite, one thing has never changed. The masses struggle while the elite hoard wealth, whispering in the ears of rulers, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. But today, something even more dangerous is happening. A new aristocracy is rising, one that wants to rule over you forever. And worst of all, they're convincing you to help them do it. We've seen this story before. The rich and powerful always find new ways to capture the system for themselves. But they can't do it alone. They always have a strategy, convincing the people they are about to exploit that it's all in their best interest.
Eggs.
The patricians controlled the empire, while the plebeians fought their wars and starved in the streets. But to keep the masses from rebelling, they distracted them with bread and circuses, cheap food and violent entertainment to make them forget who really controlled their lives. A few men controlled everything, the land, the economy, even the law. But how did they keep power? By making commoners believe the king was chosen by God, so rebellion was a sin. Industrial titans Rockefeller, Carnegie and J.P. Morgan hoarded wealth while workers toiled in deadly factories. They spread propaganda that unions were un-American, convincing workers to fight against their own rights. And now, here we are again. But this time, the billionaires aren't just buying influence. They're manipulating you into giving them power voluntarily. You've heard of Silicon Valley's disruptors, but what are they really disrupting? Thiel believes democracy and freedom are incompatible. He funds far-right politicians to dismantle the system. But here's the trick. He convinces regular people that democracy is already broken, so they willingly give up their rights. He wants to break up nation-states and replace them with private, corporate-run city-states. His sales pitch? Freedom from government. But in reality, this isn't freedom. It's feudalism. If you're not rich, you're out. These privatized mini-governments are already happening. Peter Thiel is funding experiments in Honduras and Palau, where corporations rule like feudal lords. They tell people it's about opportunity, but in reality, it's a corporate dictatorship where the poor have no voice. They tell you this is about innovation, that they're building a better future. But let's be clear, they are not building a future for you. They are building a future where they make the rules, and you are left outside the gates. Trump is their Trojan horse. He gives them power, deregulates their industries, and allows them to buy up America's future. He's already promised them freedom cities, privatized metropolises where they set the laws. And how do they get regular people on board? By convincing them that they're taking back control. Project 2025 is a blueprint for autocracy, funded by billionaires who want to gut democracy and replace it with corporate rule. Schedule F, Trump's plan to purge government workers and replace them with loyalists and business insiders. They tell voters this is about draining the swamp, but it's really about removing anyone who stands in their way. Companies like Palantir will enforce control. Billionaires fund their own police forces while dismantling public safety. Crypto-based economies ensure they can bypass taxes, regulations, and oversight. And they sell it to regular people as economic freedom. The arrogance of the elite always leads to the suffering of the masses. And why? Because they are so disconnected from reality, they think they are building a utopia, when really they are building our chains. They want you to believe that nothing can be done. They want you to think resistance is futile. But is it? Do you have the will to resist?